welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today I'm sharing another paper pad use up video. So you may have already seen these on my channel, but if not, then I am showing you how to use up this entire pack of paper over a series of videos. So you can see in the first couple of videos in the series, which are all on playlist, a run through of this pad if you're interested, but these are some of the papers. And today we're just going to be using this paper, and I have been planning this since I really started this series, because to me this looks like a snowy background, and so that's exactly what we're going to use it as today. And we're going to create 5 cards using that piece of paper, so that we're going to have 5 kind of snowy Christmas cards. So I'm going to be creating a range of Christmas cards today using different supplies, but obviously you can change them up for things you've got at home if you don't have those supplies. And also we'll create some really simple cards, some with a bit more detail to them, so we'll have a whole mixture by the end. So for this card I've got 4¼ by 5½ inch card blank. You can see it's a little bit grubby here, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to pop these on top, so you're not going to see that. So this piece of navy cardstock is 1/8 of an inch smaller than that, and this one is 1/8 of an inch smaller again. And then I've got this piece of white cardstock that is 5¼ inches wide, and I'm just going to create like a little kind of snowy hill out of that. So then I'm going to just layer these pieces up on the front of the card. And this is going to be the simplest card that we're going to make today. I often like to start with the simplest, just to ease ourselves in a little bit. So that can go on our card front and hide a mess on the front. And then I can add on our little snowbank. And then all of the sentiments that I'm going to use today are from this sentiment set from Spellbinders, which I will link below. And it is a combination of hot foiling and die cutting, and I really like them. I've used them a few times and I really like them. Obviously if you don't have hot foil machine, then just use whatever sentiment things you've got on hand, but I do really like these. So for this one I'm going to use this Merry Christmas. You can see I've already die cut the main piece and put the Christmas on, and then I've got the Merry here, which I've die cut in gold foil cardstock from Spellbinders. So I've put some adhesive sheet on the back of that before I die cut it, so that we can just take that off and add it onto our card. So these are really fine dies and I don't want a gluey mess. So I can add that onto here. And I think it's really nice with your paper packs to kind of look at them in all different ways. There's often things in paper packs that are supposed to be Christmas that will serve you all year round. They often have things like stripes and patterns, things like that will last all year round. And there's things like this. This is a primarily floral paper pack, but as soon as I saw this I thought, oh, snow, and then we can make a bunch of Christmas cards from it. So I'm just going to glue that onto this bit down here. And then all I'm going to do is add on these ephemera, and I bought these last year but they're still available in the shop. They're these Spellbinders Winter Wonderland ephemera, and there's 116 in the pack and you get a whole bunch of different things. I'm not going to show you all of them, but I'll kind of sprinkle them out so you can see a few different ones. You get some big ones like the fireplace and the house, all down to kind of like this small foliage. You've got a train there, got presents and trees. You've got so much in there, and like I said, I bought these last year, so I'll link below to a video I did. I think I might have made 10 cards using these and the papers that coordinate with them, which you can see how many you get because I've still got all these left. So then all I'm going to do to complete that card is just add on the ephemera, which I think I'm going to do with some foam pads. Then there's our first card finished. So then for my second card, I'm going to use this tree die, and there's a stitching piece to this die, so you can stitch it if you like, and I'll link below to a video where I have stitched this and it looks really pretty, but this time I'm just going to use it as a normal die and show you how to use it like that. So for this I'm going to use my sticky dots to add on these details because I forgot to put adhesive sheets behind these. So I've been using these a lot recently, and as I've said before, I don't think that this brand exists anymore. These are Midas Touch ones, but I will link below to another brand just in case you're looking for some. So it is horrible, isn't it, when you see someone use something and you think, oh, that's a good idea, and then you can't find them anywhere. So I'm using some sage cardstock from Spellbinders on the bottom and layering over this white, and then I'm going to use white and gold for the base. So I actually have the same setup here as I had for the last card, except it just is going to go up the other way, so it's going to go portrait instead of landscape. So I've got my 4¼ by 5½ inch card base, and then this is an 1/8 of an inch smaller, and this is an 1/8 of an inch smaller again. So I'm just going to put this white strip at the bottom. So that is 1 inch by 4 inches, and it's just going to sit across there. So for this one, I'm taking off the backing while it's still in the die. And the reason for that is we've got this really tiny piece here that is the apostrophe. So I want to be able to put it on like this and then poke it through so it's in the right place on here, and then I can just pull that up and it's all nicely done. Whereas if I'd have had to fiddle about with that tiny piece, that would have been really difficult. So then I can glue that onto my card, and I can also glue on my tree. I can add the star on the top. And then I'm going to grab some of these Colour Essential sequins from Spellbinders, the gold ones, and then I'm going to use my mini glue dots to add these onto my tree. And this is quite a good way of money saving as well, because the loose embellishments tend to be a lot less expensive than the embellishments that have sticky on the back. And if you have some glue dots, then it's really easy just to make your own embellishments. So then that's that card finished. So then for this next card, I am going to use this piece of ephemera from the same pack we used before, and I want to create like a little road for it. So I've got a piece of grey cardstock that is the same size as this. So this is 4 by 4 inches. We've got a 5 by 5 inch card blank, and the white piece is 4 1/8 inches square. I'm just going to make a little road on here. So to do that, I'm just going to use this piece of paper. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to keep on moving along and cutting a piece so I can make sure that they're the same size, and these will be our road markings. So then I can add those onto my road. This piece of grey, by the way, is 4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So then I can glue that across the bottom of this piece, and then I'll layer that onto my card. So then I'm going to grab my sentiment, and I'm actually going to try and take the backing off like I did for the last one, because that actually worked really well. I thought that was an easier way of doing it. It allows you to position it nicely as well before you stick it down. So I'm going to glue that up there, and then I'm going to add my ephemera on with some fine pits. And so there we go, we've got our really cute card, really quick and simple as well. So then for this next card, I've got the same layout as the first couple of cards with a 5.5 by 4.25 inch card blank with a navy piece 1/8 of an inch smaller and a snowy piece 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. And I'm going to create some kind of snow banks. And so this piece of paper is 5.25 inches wide. And then by cutting this piece like this, I've managed to create 2 snowbanks from it that I can then layer onto my card. And by flipping one over, it means that the snowbanks kind of go the opposite ways. So then I've also stamped and coloured these images. So these are from this really lovely Snowball Kisses stamp set from Polka Doodles. So then I can just cut those out. Then I'm going to lay out my card, glue all these pieces on. So I'm going to glue this first piece on, the bigger piece. I'm going to glue it slightly up from the bottom. And then I'm going to layer this piece on with some foam pads to add a bit of dimension. So that can layer on like that. I'm going to use the Warm Wishes sentiment for this one. And then I can lay out these elements. And the reason I want to lay these out and know where they go is because I want to colour around the outside of them. So I'm going to grab the colour chart for my alternating markers and just decide which of them goes best with this background. And for me, I think this Winter Lake is the best. So that's from this Mystic Garden set. So then I can just kind of mark on here where the sky comes up to on each side so that I know where I want to colour to. And then I'm going to grab some scrap paper. I'm just going to colour around those stamped images. And this will just help those images to kind of melt into the background a little bit. So now that that's done, all that's left to do is to glue everything on. And then as I'm putting them back on, I'm lining those pieces back up with this white line. You can see she blends much better into the background now. So with this one, I'm going to add a bit of glue on here, and then I'm going to add foam pad to the top, because he'll glue onto this bit here, which already has a foam pad behind it. Should mention, by the way, that at the time I'm filming this stamp set's on sale, so check that out if you really love that. All the products that I'm using will be linked in the description below. There's that card done, really cute. And for this final card, I'm going to use this gorgeous Sunny Lane Homes 1 die set from scrapbook.com. And I'm going to use this house. You obviously get the 2 in the set. So it's 23 dies. There's all the pieces to make these 2. So I'm going to make that up first. You can see it has some really nice detailing embossed into it as well when you die cut it. There's 2 pieces to this door. Well, actually 3 if you include the little window bit. So that goes into there. And we can glue that on. And that little window slots in there. If you're not sure where pieces go, then you can use this as a guide. You can see like this piece goes just under this detailing here. Now I use glue dots for these windows. It's quite easy to see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera though, where there's glue dots left on here. So because I use such small pieces often, then this one sheet of glue dots lasted ages. And actually my particular glue dots are A4, so this is actually only part of a sheet of glue dot. And that's really nice because when you take them off, they're just like stickers. You can just stick them down in all that tacky mess. And then so for my card, I've got a 5-inch square card blank. I've got a 4-inch piece of the snowy paper. I've got this piece, which is 1/8 of an inch bigger. Then I'm just going to curve the top of this a little bit. This piece of white cardstock is 4 inches wide. And then I'm going to use the Happy Holidays sentiment. So because I've used a different sentiment on each card, it made it really easy to create the sentiments because I hot foiled them all in one go. I die cut them all in one go. So it made it really quick to do the whole lot together. So I'm going to glue that onto my card. And then I'm going to add on my house with some foam paste. And there's that one finished. So from one piece of paper that's actually from a floral pack of paper, we've got 5 really gorgeous snowy Christmas cards. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments below which is your favourite card. If you love today's cards, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used to create today's cards are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.